Thank you for clicking on the video, and here on Mimic, I'm presenting the newest D&D hardcover book. It's not a rules book. This is Dungeons & Dragons Rules and Realms. It is published by 10 Press and is authored by Adam Lee. Now, when I first heard about this book a number of months ago, I was very excited and pre-ordered this book, as my initial conception of this book was that it was going to be like one of these, part of the Young Adventurers Guide series. You could see how even the font of the title is matching this. This is Places and Portals, and I thought this was going to be a deeper dive into the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I have to admit, I am disappointed. I'll go into an overview and deeper dive of this book in a bit, but these books are really quite wonderful. These are basically summaries of D&D lore, very easy to digest. And the cool thing about this book series is it does feature a lot of original artwork. Unfortunately, this does not. I took a little peek in there, and you should think of this more of an art book. It has a lot of recycled art. This book is also much larger than the rest of this series. This is your standard Young Adventurers Guidebook. And you can see they even had a large one that compiled all of the monsters and creatures in this series into one bigger book. And this Worlds and Realms is even larger. So this is gives you a sense of the scale of the art book here. You could also see here at the bottom, it does not say Young Adventurers Guide. And it is giving a little blurb here, Adventures from Greyhawk to Eberron and beyond. So let's get more into this book. Welcome to the channel where we talk about not just D&D, but also board games and comics, technology on Saturdays, and gamer snacks on Sundays. And we also do monthly giveaways. And this is our giveaway for the month of November. I'll put a link down below how you could win this original TSR module. You won the Sinister Secret of Saltmarch. We featured this recently. It's not our first module that we gave away, and it certainly won't be our last. This is the original module. It's not a reprint. It has a fold-out map and everything. And hopefully one of you lucky winners will enjoy this prize. If you're watching this from the future, I'm sure we have other giveaways going on, and you can click our main channel page for that information. Let's start off with the cover here. It is a wonderful cover. It's reminiscent of the basic set with the sorceress and the dragon. I think it's pretty cool. However, I can't find the artist credit for this cover art in the book or online, and it's just given a catch-all term of the Goodman Digital Art Studio. So I'm not sure who even drew it or if it's even done by a person. That being said, I think this is the only art piece that has no credit. Everything else within the book has a reference, and I'll show you that momentarily. Let's take a look at this book on the side, and this is the spine. And on the back of the book here, you could see there is a quote from Matt Mercer and Will Wheaton. But basically, you will know more about this book right off the bat from this first page that we turn to. So here, you could see that this Worlds and Realms is an illustrated story-driven retrospective celebrating the immersive world building of Dungeons and Dragons since its conception in 1974. So yes, basically it's going to use Mordenkainen's point of view to denote everything within this book. I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of that kind of perspective-driven narrative, as you know, when you read the lore, you're gonna see it from Mordenkainen's point of view. And is that true fact, or maybe his conception or perception of something? And I'd rather have it be more like an encyclopedia. That's what I was hoping for, like this series here. Regardless, it is chock full of artwork that might bring out some nostalgia feelings, certainly for me, as I grew up with Dungeons & Dragons since first edition. Let's take this first artwork right here. You can see a party going down a ramp. Basically, I think they're in a trap. I think this is from module S2, White Plume Mountain. And you can see how in the old days everyone wanted to carry a 10-foot pole to trigger traps. So if you want to see if you're correct about this, on the back of the book, we're going to skip to the back here. It does list, besides an appendix, art credits. So this is pretty cool to see. Here mentions the various art credits. Page 2 is down here, and then there are 3 credits that take place before the actual start of the book. The first one being the expert set. So it actually doesn't reference this art piece. If we go to the title page here, this is considered page 1. And then this is from Mordecai's source book. This is from Tales of Young and Porter, which is the Gibbering Mouther. And then here is the first listed art credit from the expert set. This also has a little depiction of the basic set, which I think this is referenced to. So you can see how it doesn't mention this art piece, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is from S2. Regardless, let's continue. And you can see already how this is going to be chock full of old artwork. Looks like we're going to have part 1, the material plane, part 2, the inner and parallel planes, part 3, beyond the material plane. And then, of course, an epilogue here about the author and contributors. So you can see it's broken up in various different sections: Greyhawk, Mystara, Dragonlance, Eberron, Feywild, Shadowfell, Spelljammer, Nine Hells, Abyss, Sinister, and the Outer Planes and Far Realm. All right, so let's take a look here, and you can see how the prose is going to start from Mordecai's point of view. Now, let me know in the comments down below if you are a big fan of that. That is one of the reasons why I held off on getting Bigsby's Book of Giants, because it's written from his point of view. Here is going to discuss the material plane, which is, of course, home for Mordecai. He lives in Greyhawk, which is going to be the main campaign setting for the new edition of Dungeons and Dragons, the 2024 edition. There is going to be a source book for the Forgotten Realms. I believe it's going to come in 2 different hardcover books. And you can see how we have some old artwork here. And basically it's going to be, once again, Mordecai's point of view, discussing some of these characters. And so, for example, here it's talking about Vecna, but it's going to be from his point of view. So if you're a fan of that, great. But once again, I prefer something a little bit more impartial, like a encyclopedia. That's what I was really hoping for. Now, another thing about this book I did not realize until I cracked it open a little bit is it has various short stories. I'm sure we're going to come to one soon. But yeah, this is old artwork from the Tomb of Horrors, from the old edition and newer edition. Talking about the various deities with the side of law and chaos, which is actually discussed in the Quag Deep novel by Andre Norton that we will feature very soon on the channel, if I haven't posted it already, actually. I love this old classic artwork. I'm pretty sure I have seen most of these before in one way or another, as I have most of the modules. Okay, so here we come to our first short story, Life in Greyhawk, Bitter Cold, as authored by Jasmine Buller. I don't believe this is written from Mordecai's point of view. Okay, and that was quite a short little tidbit there. All right, so now we are moving on to the next realm here. This is Mystara. Pretty nice to always peruse these old artwork. Now, of course, this is not the only D&D art book out there. There's Art and Arcana, which I think is probably a far superior source of information and presentation of the artwork. That is more of an encyclopedia and source book. This, once again, is written as a narrative. All right, so let's go a little faster here, just more background story. And here is another short story, only 2 pages long. Now, moving on to the realm of dragonlance, which of course has seen a lot of novelizations. This was what kicked off TSR's book imprint series. Definitely had a lot of joy reading these original trilogy that came out and the subsequent trilogies. I believe they have more than 100 novels in this series now. I have not read all of them, and I probably will not. Okay, so Keith Parkinson's artwork here. So here, there's discussing another classic character, but once again, it's going to be through Mordenkainen's point of view. Talking about the actual lances. Another short story, just 2 pages long. Okay, Eberron. This is a pretty cool one. I don't believe I've seen this one before. I'm sure it's taken from some other source, but I personally have not seen this one of Dritz. Very exciting. Okay, more discussion of different parts of Forgotten Realms here. Neverwinter. Waterdeep. So we're about 100 pages through this. And here you can see Xanathar and various different depictions of him. Pretty cool. The Red Wizards. Another short story here. And yeah, just 2 pages long. Eberron. So this realm I'm not too familiar with. And I know they use the entire multiverse here as a setup for Vecna's campaign book that they came out last year. And I was actually hoping that would be, in a way, like a source book, taking information from all these realms and making it a little concise so you get a little summary in that campaign book. They did something like that. I was just hoping for a little bit more. So I was hoping for this book to fill in the gap. Another short story here. Part 2, Inner and Parallel Planes. It's like a dark sun artwork. Now, even though I played mostly first edition, I certainly played all the SSI computer games, PC games that came out during that time and afterwards. So that it was how I got familiar about all the other realms. It's nice to see all of these various art pieces. This is pretty joyful to see. So you see how it's a mishmash of all the different art styles and from all the various different editions of the game. Shadowfell. You know, I'm gonna have to look at the art credits again to see if all of these are from modules and from TSR, or maybe some of them might be from magazines and, well, not talking about Dragon magazine, but artwork from other sources, such as books that may not have been published by TSR. That'll be interesting to know. Because certainly Dungeons and Dragons has inspired a lot of artwork. Spelljammer. A Wild Space. Can't recall if there was a Spelljammer video game though. There's a Miscamboo. Another short story, just 2 pages long. 9 Hells. Now, I wonder how this narrative is all put together. I haven't read this whole thing yet. What is the hook that makes him travel to all these different places? Morrican, that is. Another short story here. Moving on to the Abyss. Demogorgon depictions. Another short story here. Sigil, the Lady of Pain. That's from Planescape. Okay, getting towards the end. Pretty cool. Gate towns. Still talking about the Lady of Pain. So I guess they wrap up every realm with a little short story here. Outer Realms and the Far Realm. Mind Flare there. Even looking at these art pieces a second or third time, it's always inspiring. So this is from Bigby. Interesting that they have his point of view here. Now this art piece, I think, is on a Magic the Gathering card. So yeah, I wonder if, like I mentioned, if they took artwork from other sources rather than 100% TSR products. Of course, Magic the Gathering is run by WotC, but still, let's take a look here. This art piece is on 343. 343. Now that's from Morkan's Monsters of the Universe. So just scanning all these art credits. Yeah, I suppose they are all 100% TSR or D&D products directly. Okay. Right. Because you know, even Tim Hildebrandt did artwork featuring Dungeons and Dragons as a calendar, but I guess they are not using artwork from other sources. All right, and here's the last short story. There's an epilogue. Let's see, world building is as old as the Big Bang or the Old Testament. Interesting they mention that, but this is not Morkan's point of view anymore. It's from the author. And yeah, I know Adam Lee, the author, has worked with the D&D space for a decade at least. Okay. All right, and here are the other contributors. I think they are the authors of the short stories. Looks like they have various different symbols of maybe the different realms. You can see they did have some of the logos representing the realms here, so that would match here. So that's an interesting little Easter egg, I suppose, they added to organize this book. So in total, this book is 362 pages long. And that has been a quick overview of the new Dungeons and Dragons Worlds and Realms. And would you pick this up? I'm happy I did, but once again, I am disappointed that it is written from this Mordecai's point of view and not a encyclopedia type source book as the rest of these series are. If you love the old artwork, this might be a great source for you to leave on the coffee table or whatnot. However, a better art book and source book would be the Art of Arcana that is chock full of history, and this is written as a narrative. So I'm sure this has its place somewhere, but it may not be in my library too long. Thank you for taking the time to watch my reaction to this book. Hopefully you found this helpful. As always, keep on adventuring out there.